Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another stream. Um, Good to see everyone in chat. Good morning. I hope we're all well. This is the first stream from this season in my house. I'm not ready to talk at all. I woke up about an hour ago and I'm still a bit shook. Oh shit, I can hear myself. One sec. Okay. I assume everyone can hear and see me. Let me know if there's any issues. Good to see everyone in chat though. Good morning to Oli. Where are we? Okay. Let me just make this a small bit bigger while everyone is here. Just so you can see who's in. Sweet. So, big week ahead. No Haaland. Let me fix my green screen. Okay, we're good. Mr. Choi, thoughts on Robinson's start over João Pedro? Yeah, not bad. I would prefer João Pedro. I always prefer playing an attacker. But before we get into questions, let's say hello to everyone in chat. Anish, my channel member, good morning. Son? No, this is Choi, not Son. But welcome to the stream. Pop says Choi. Munir, always first in our videos. Good to see you. Okay, so let's pull up my team real quick. This is how we are looking. You know, with that Solanke injury was not ideal. But, you know, stuff happens. But only game week 1, a lot has happened with the likes of Barco, Solanke, and Nkunku reduced minutes. So, I don't know, it's going to be an interesting week ahead. A lot of people are panicking already, but I'm not too stressed. It's early on in the season. You can't be panicking. Cole Ingram says, hello from South Africa. Hello, Cole. Guten Morgen, Shaw. Yeah, you like the jersey. Thank you. This is 1996, I want to say. It's deadly. I really like it. Love the shirt, says Ajay. Got one just like that. Very good. Good morning, says Abish. Would you start Muniz or Ahmed? I haven't seen any Ahmed news, but I think I'd start Muniz. That Leicester at home fixture is ideal. Mr. K says, big up, brother. Okay, so we've got a big enough stream today. As you all know, I don't need to explain it, but today is the day where Haaland marches down at home to Ipswich, and us as non-Haaland owners are curled up and shriveled up into a ball, hoping it's over. Thankfully, I've got Spurs on at 3 o'clock. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but we'll take it. I won't be watching the City game, and I'll definitely have notifications off. Watkins Rogers in for -4 for Solanke and Morgan Gibbs White. Yes, I would say this fixture turn for Villa is very, very nice. By the way, how is the audio? I know my mic can be playing up at certain points, and also I know the P's can be quite disruptive on the mic, so let me know if it needs fixing, but I think we should be good. Morning says Artarva. Good to see you for another FPL season. Yeah, this season is a big one. We started making way more videos and I have plenty more time to be putting into it. So yeah, I'm absolutely delighted to be here. And it's great to see you guys showing the support as well. Why not Sun Captain? You never know, man. My thought process could change between now and then. Just right now, I feel Salah is probably the safer bet. But we could go there. I mean, why not? I don't know if you saw my video or not, but we were quite high on Son potentially being a really good option. And we'll get into that for those that haven't seen that video. Audio is beautiful. Okay, great to hear, Jordan. I appreciate you. Opinions on Munoz. Munoz is alright. He got an assist last week and he lived up to all the content creator expectation. I know we do wait a lot on specific players, but he came up with the goods. I thought Palace were quite good and then they lost, but in general I thought they played very well, made a good few chances, and Munoz was getting into very good areas. So Munoz, definitely a good pick. Hey, should I start Minta or Watkins? That's a hard one. Let me bring up these fixtures real quick. We can have a general discussion on them. Okay. Yeah, that's a hard one. I would tend to say start the Villa boys. Actually, would I start the Villa boys? I don't know. Where is Shaq on? There it is, okay. Rice for Nkunku or Doku? Nkunku all day. I don't know about Royce as a FPL option. I suppose he's one of those players that ticks along nicely. But I would tend to just still go for an Nkunku. He's way higher upside. Sharif, good to see you back. Would you start Robinson instead of one of those Porro, Trent, Munoz? What do you think of benching Nkunku for Emile Smith-Rowe? I don't know how people make these issues for themselves, but it's always a good issue to have. I wouldn't start Robinson ahead of any of those three, I don't think. Maybe, no, I would start him ahead of Munoz. So Robinson instead of Munoz for sure. What do you think about benching Nkunku for Emile Smith-Rowe? I don't know, man. I think that's a flip of a coin. I think the 58 minutes for Nkunku and the goal was a good thing for him personally. I don't think it was bad at all. Are you planning on getting any Man City player? Alright, so if you look at my team, I don't think it's badly set up at all. I actually quite like it. My only issue is, of course, Brighton have signed a striker now. So this week it will be fine with Bruno as well. But next week, Bruno plays against Liverpool at home and Pedro plays against Arsenal. So I was kind of looking forward, and I think maybe making a decision like a transfer this week would actually benefit me in the long term more so than the short term. I do quite like Pedro for this week. I actually don't mind playing him at all. And of course, I think he will start, but his minutes might be reduced, maybe 60 or 70. But if that means he gets the next game, I'm not too stressed about it. Harwood, Bellis, Gabriel, or Konsa to start? I think I'll just go Gabriel. He'll probably get 90-ish, so I wouldn't be too stressed, even though they're playing Villa. It could be a tough game. Yeah, so Anish says, are you planning on getting a Man City player? I don't think so. I was toying with the idea of doing a Bruno down to potentially... Where are you, Bruno? Bruno and Solanke. To Muniz and KDB. But after the price drops and all that, I don't think I will bother. Of course, they went up. Muniz went up 6.1. We can have a look at the price drops, or let me know in chat if you have any questions about them. Start Kulusevski or Rodgers? I think if I had Kulusevski, I'd just risk it. I don't know the likelihood of him playing, but Johnson didn't play great last game, so that's one position he could play. And of course, Solanke is out now, so he could always play up top. If Richarlison's not fully fit, I think that's the only chance we don't see Richarlison. I think otherwise he does play. Who would you bench between Emile Smith-Rowe, Bruno, Odegaard? Would also have Isaac, Salah, Mateta, Jota. I'd be benching... Who do Forest play? Forest play... Southampton. You can't be benching Wood against Southampton. You know what? I didn't think Wood was particularly great in the last game. He scored a rebound off a tap-in, so I would tend to say Odegaard, but only because he can be a bit deeper, and that Wood fixture is very, very good. But again, I can't give you a solid answer on that. Ice G says, I have one dilemma this game week. Start Rashford or Emile Smith-Rowe. I think I'd be starting Smith-Rowe. You just have to. Yeah, definitely not a comfortable one. No, not any City attack, KDB or Foden. Yeah, so we're definitely a bit thin in terms of this week. But if we can get through this week, lads, I'm confident for the coming weeks, because this will be the hardest game week, I want to say. But as you can see, we're well set up. We've got 8 home fixtures this week. So it is ideal. Hopefully, Haaland doesn't sting us too bad, though. Do you know when the UCL draw will be? I can't wait to play UCL FPL. I'm actually not quite sure when that is. I'm excited. Usually, like I remember being in college and we'll always stick it on while in the middle of a lecture. So the draw is always a good bit of crack, but I'm not quite sure when it is. I'm captaining Son instead of Salah, and I'm actually so scared. Yeah, so let's get on to that point. So on my video, I was speaking about how Son captaincy could be very, very good. A reason being is, like, Everton have so many players out. Let me see if I can pull up that image real quick. Let's see if I can find it. Give me 2 seconds, lads. Is it here? I don't think it's here. Never mind. Anyway, there was this screenshot, and like Tarkowski's now a doubt. They don't have their striker. They don't have their right back. Seamus Coleman is out. Ashley Young got a red card last game, so that could be a slugfest at Tottenham Stadium as well. Like, so I don't know. A lot of things are pointing towards the Son captaincy, and I did say like that is the type of move that will bring you so many bumps ahead if it does well and Salah blanks, because it gets you ahead of all the Salah captainers. You selling Solanke. Also, who to bench? Wood, Muniz, Nkunku, Emile Smith-Rowe. I think I'd bench Smith-Rowe or Nkunku. I don't know which one. I can't give you a solid answer. But yeah, I don't think captain and Son is bad. I probably should sell Solanke, but I don't know how serious the injury is, so I don't know if he'll be back next week. I know there was a bit of encryption in what Ange said, and he said that like, oh, we have an international break, so that implied that he might miss further. But I don't know, man. I think I'm happy to maybe hold on to him and take the price drop and hopefully have him. And I know the Arsenal fixture is not ideal to have him back for, but we do have GW2 for a reason, and it was hopefully to save us a transfer. And maybe next week we can use the 2 free transfers without taking a hit. I'm going Solanke out for Denson, the upgrade in Nkunku to Foden. I don't know, man. I still feel like it's early to get rid of Nkunku. I think if Foden starts, though, he'll be one of the first to be subbed off. Hi, would you do Solanke and Mbeumo out for Son captain over Erling and Salah and a 4.5 for a -4? Ooh, Mbeumo. I don't think I'd do that move. It's not worth a -4. If you were to do a free hit, who is essential players you would put? I think I'd have Rico Lewis on a free hit for sure. I'd have a Haaland and Salah draft. And definitely Trent. It's hard to get to, but I think that's what I'd have. And I'd probably have Son. Okay, you can't have them all, but I think it would be a no Salah draft. I'd just try risk it with a Son and a Haaland. Anish says, I want to captain Son again like game week 1. Hopefully he gets his vibe back. Yeah, like I said, that first fixture was a difficult one to kind of judge a player off. But I would say in general, if you're trying to judge a player after a game week 1 score or how they played, it doesn't always work like that. You need to look at the bigger picture. Don't get me wrong, Son was useless in that first game, but in my sense, the bigger picture here is that we play at home versus Everton, and their team is kind of a bit thin. And no Solanke now, he could be making more forward runs into the central areas, so definitely not a bad option. What do you think of Henderson going forward for Crystal Palace in selling their top defenders? Yeah, I don't think it's ideal. But again, if you look at how Crystal Palace want to play, they're going to sign. It looks like they're going to sign the Wolfsburg centre half, who is rapid, and that might mean he's going to play a higher line. So you could see more save points from Henderson. I don't know if that's a good thing, but I mean, you might get a bigger haul from, I suppose. I replaced Kwanzaa and Colwell. Was it a good decision? I don't know. I suppose we'll find out today or tomorrow when they play Wolves if it was a good decision. How does Muniz sound? I don't know what that means, but I think it is Muniz. Ahmed out, Rodgers in. Not a bad move at all, yeah. What's your plan for next game week? It's hard to say. Let me pull up FPL team, and then we'll have a look at my next game week. For anyone that doesn't know, FPL team, very, very useful for planning. Can I scale this a bit better? This looks like the best we're going to get. Okay, so this is not my team. Hold on. Okay, so this is how we're looking. Joe Nkunku in. Okay. So this is me now. If I roll, I'm going to be going into game week 3 with 2 free transfers, okay? And like I said, we have Arsenal for João Pedro and Liverpool at home for Fernandes. Not ideal at all, but what would I plan on doing? It would have to be Bruno out, but you missed that Southampton fixture next week, so again, that's not even a great move. But, alright, let's say I get rid of Fernandes. I put in a Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey is one I've been looking at for a while, and I think out of the bunch, for the price, he's really good. Now, he does get subbed early, but it's not an issue. Leicester away. And then you have 7.5 for a striker. You're in that exact same position you're in this week. That's why I was saying, like, last week, this week, it might have been good to bring in a Muniz. Because you might be fixing that issue straight away. But I just wish like the likes of a Darwin was fit. Darwin for this type of fixture run would be lethal. Now I know I have Jota, but Darwin fixes a striker slot. Getting up to a Watkins would be ideal with these fixtures. But I look at these fixtures and there's not many players I can go to. You have Isaac for this. Chris Wood isn't great for this. And then no Solanke for this not great fixture run anyway. I don't know if I'm missing anyone, but yeah, ideally you want the Watkins here. And I don't think I could go to a Nicholas Jackson. I don't think it's just, I don't know, I don't like him as a player. Alright, let's get back to your chat. Would you start Gabriel or Colwell? I would start Colwell. I'm a very big fixtures man. If the fixtures are there, I'll always go aside on that player side. Play Saliba or Harwood Bellis? I think I'd play Saliba. Do you think Solanke out for João Pedro is fine? So salty I missed the price changes, so can't bring myself to buy Muniz. Yeah man, I'm the exact same. I'm a bit stubborn when it comes to him. If I miss the price rise, that's it, I'm not getting him. But yeah, what would I do in that situation? I don't think I'd bring in João Pedro because like the competition is getting harder and harder for him, and we don't know how things are going to look, and you're bringing him in for United at home and then Arsenal away next week, so next week is probably really, really tough. I don't think I would pick João Pedro. Your team is weak, is not that strong. I suppose it's easy to say because I don't have Haaland, but I think if you look at the bigger picture, it's not too bad. Alright, let's do a poll. I want to see how many absolute rats are on Haaland captain. Let me resize this. Okay, let's do this. Start poll. Haaland. I hate you all if you're on Haaland, by the way. Why can't I do anything? My brain's lacking. I assume, I think it'll be closer than you think because, I don't know, in general, my chat is probably no Haaland. But it'll still be interesting to see. Derek O'Reilly says, morning choice, start Minoz or Robinson. Come on, you Spurs. And Minoz are Robinson all day. I wouldn't be starting Minoz. That's a prime fixture for Robinson. Mateta? Yeah, Mateta's not bad, but not ideal. Jackson can't hit a barn door some games. Yeah, you're not wrong. His touch is woeful as well, and now João Felix is in. I don't know who will start. Where'd you get the Bayern kit, mate? Alibaba? No, it was actually DHK. I can't find Price Rise article. Where has it gone? Alright, let's have a look at some price rises. Let's do actually a scroll on Twitter, just in case we miss that. My friend, what is the picture in the corner? I'm getting cooked. Yeah, it does kind of suck. What do I even say? What's my excuse for this? Photoshop. Oh man, yeah. So, I obviously I'm trying to make my thumbnails a bit better. This is not bad in general, alright. But obviously the issue is the picture in the top left, and basically what I had to do was use a different editing software because I was rushing. So that's why it looks a bit cat. But we tried our best. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah, price rises. Let's have a little scroll on Twitter. I think we will get some team news today on City because they play at 3 o'clock. This is always interesting from Rob T, by the way. It's just the market's projections and his model on who's gonna score goals, basically, and it's never too far off. The bookies are never wrong. You hovered on my question. Sorry, I can't remember what your question was. Alzata, what do you think of Royce for Nkunku or Doku? Yeah, I'd just go Nkunku personally. If we do go for a City player this week, I think we can just write them off until game week 6. What are your thoughts? Or if we do not go for a City player, I don't know, man. They play West Ham next week. I don't know about writing them off, but yeah, I think we did start this season implying that we weren't going to go with City players. You know, if you're not going to go for a City player for the Ipswich fixture, why would you go for him after? So I don't know. Jota's not starting me. Why not, Richard? Tell me why. Explain. Yeah, I think this is really interesting though. Like I said, Everton, you know, the markets project them to concede a few this week, so that Son captain could be lovely. You know, only 0.4 in the difference compared to Liverpool, and I do always feel like Brentford are quite tight in defence, so I can't see a massive scoreline in that fixture. I could be wrong, but I don't know. In my initial thoughts, that's what I think. Getting cooked, man. Yeah, so if you go on your timeline, it's always never going to be good when you go with no Haaland. You start seeing this little white armband go around Haaland. It's never a good look. But again, I've been here last season. Compared to other managers, you're maybe not used to it and you feel a bit uncomfortable, but don't worry about it. You know, we'll get through it. You know what? On this topic, right? I genuinely think it's less about how well Haaland does and more so about the players that you have because of Haaland. So if I'm expecting Haaland to minimum brace, okay, whatever. But if Wood and Smith Rowe slash who else, Rodgers does really well this week, I think non-Haaland owners will be in trouble. Because they're the type of players that make Haaland even better value and take down his price. Like if you look at a combined Haaland and Smith Rowe, that's like 19.5 compared to a Son and a, who do I have? A Son and a Bruno, for example, let's say. That's 18.5. But if one of those two blank and and a Haaland and a Smith Rowe return, you're in trouble. So yeah, I'm more so hoping a Wood and a Smith Rowe don't go off this week in comparison. Again, maybe my João Pedro can do well, but let's see. Yeah, another graphic from Rob T. It's definitely not a good look looking at this. This is one of the highest projections we've seen for Haaland in the last 2 seasons. I think this is actually the best compared to, I think it was Luton last season he had at home, which was even better. But yeah, it's definitely not good. 75% to get 1+ goal. Like, that is ridiculous. How is that poll doing, by the way? Son? Question mark? Yeah, if I have Son this week, I'm happy. Yeah, see, like I was saying, I did expect the poll to be close because I would say in general, a lot of the people in my chat are no Haaland. By the way, I wouldn't be copying my team because what do I know? This could be an absolute stinker of a season. Nah, I'm joking. I'm fairly confident that we do quite well this season. But I don't know, I still wouldn't be copying anyone's team in general because, you know, FPL is just about a bit of crack and a good rank is just part of it. So hopefully we can do both. Captain Shy, I believe. I won't be believing in me, but let's see. What you're like? Okay, so I think a good way to kind of choose your players is like, let's actually do this while we're here. I'm gonna bring up a notepad and I'll bring it up on stream too. Give me 2 seconds. But we're gonna try predict the scores. Is this a media source? I think it is. Or window capture. Maybe. Okay, perfect. Notepad. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to predict the scores together. Maybe make that a bit bigger. Okay. So what do you think will be the score? What's the first game today? Brighton versus United. I'm going to say a 2-2 draw. Yes, put it in chat what you think. I'm gonna think it's 2-2. Why? I don't know. Brighton at home, new manager bounce. United had a good win that first week. I didn't think they looked particularly too good, but still a win nonetheless. Let me close that poll actually. It was nearly 50-50. Crazy. Can you make a best wildcard? Zizo, I wouldn't be wildcarding if I were you. I would probably do everything I could not to wildcard. As a United fan, I think we're losing 4-0 or 2-1 Man United. Interesting. That's a big swing. 2-1 United. 2-1 United. Alright, you're not allowed to vote if you're a United fan. 2-0 Palace. Interesting because we're on United Brighton. But 3-1 United, 4-0. I'm going to hold you to these, by the way. And I'll remember if you're right. Alright, so next fixture, who we got? Crystal Palace, West Ham. I am going to say 1-all. That has 1-all written all over it. So basically, this is how I kind of pick or project my team to do in FPL because, if you look at the scores and obviously you own some of these players, you just hope that they're involved in the goals. Fulham Leicester, I think it will be a close game. I think it'll be a bit closer than we think it will be. I want to say a 1-all. And I'm going to say 1-all. 3 draws to start, not great. Fulham versus Leicester. 2-1 Palace. Big up Jamaica. 40 United. 2-1 Palace, 2-1 Palace, 2-1 Palace. 0-0 Fulham Leicester. 2-0, 2-1. Palace wins, 1-0 Fulham. Yeah, I think a lot of people are banking on Fulham. But Leicester surprised me against Tottenham in the second half. They weren't great, but they done enough to hold off. Alright, who we got next? City versus Ipswich. What do we have? I want to say 3-0 City. I've seen the script before. It's not going to be a 7-0. By the way, don't clip that because it's going to be 7-0. But let's pretend like it's going to be 3-0. I don't know if this is wishful thinking, but John Hayes says, morning shy Ireland. I'm on my wildcard this week. Good luck this game week. Yeah, best luck, John. Let me know what was your thought process for pulling the wildcard early. Was it too many injuries, the likes of Solanke, Kwanzaa, Barco, all these a lot? But let me know. 3-0 fit Haaland. Yeah, fit Haaland. Haaland hat-trick. 4-0 City. I feel like these are all fair scores. 4-0 Foden masterclass. Sounds like a Foden owner to me. Alright, let's go to the next one. Southampton versus Forest. What am I thinking? Southampton versus Forest. I'm going to go 2-1 Forest. Southampton. I spelled that wrong, didn't I? Southampton. Southampton are at home. Okay. Spurs versus Everton. Big expectations for that fixture, man. I feel like we're heavily let down last week, and they have so many players out injured. Let me just show up my team for anyone that is coming into the stream. Of course, we got Liverpool versus Brentford. What am I thinking for that? I think it will be 2-0, I want to say. Then again, it's at Anfield. Probably could be a bit more, but I feel like, again, Brentford will try to be as solid as possible and try to catch Liverpool on the counter. Who are we missing? Who are we missing? Wolves versus Chelsea. Wolves versus Chelsea. I think it will be 2-1 Chelsea. What do you think in chat? I think it'll be 2-1 Chelsea. Wolves versus Chelsea. That's a tough one to call. Wolves don't look great, but neither do Chelsea, to be honest. Tony Fungus says Brighton with a João Pedro penalty and a Mitoma goal. GGMU. 2-0 Spurs, 5-0 Spurs. I don't know if these are Sun owners, but I hope you're right. Start Rodgers or Harwood Bellis. I'll be starting Rodgers all day. 2-1 Chelsea. Yeah, I'm on that. Will Joachim Anderson start for Fulham? Eddie, I don't know if this is concrete information, but I did see, I was in Andy's chat earlier, and someone in his chat, and a lot of the general consensus was that he was likely to miss the game. I don't know if it's because of actually, I don't know exactly what it was, but I did see that somewhere. It's not confirmed though, so if I had someone else, I'd be playing that other person. So I'm missing a fixture or two, aren't I? Let me go. Villa Arsenal, of course. How did I miss that? What am I feeling for Villa Arsenal? I think it could be a 1-1 draw. We seen last year, I think Villa done the double on them. Arsenal. Bournemouth, Newcastle, I'm going to say... I think it'll be a tough game for Newcastle, for sure. I want to say 2-1 Bournemouth. It's going to be a tough game. and I know Newcastle weren't great last week, but I'm not going to wait too much on that. But still, I could see a Bournemouth win. Maybe I'm insane. Sorry, any Newcastle fans. Be sure to shoot me down. I spelled that wrong, but I don't care. And yeah, that's 3, 6, 8, 10. Okay, that's all of them. All right, let's go back to this next week and see how we got on. What do you think for Newcastle? Come on, Shy, says Michael. Not a Son owner, but a Porro owner. I need that clean sheet and assist or goal. Yeah, I did say after that game that Porro was likely not to be injured. I mean, I feel like he was on for a while. You know, usually when a player is badly injured, he comes off straight away. Just not even a debate. It's just straight away come off. But yeah, I'm not too worried about Porro. I'm happy with my team, man, but I feel like because next week that transfer could come in clutch. I think that's why I'm so comfortable kind of going into this week looking like this. My only thing is, do I captain Son? Like, I'm really high on, and you've heard me speak about Son for a while for this fixture specifically. You know, this is one of the fixtures that I have Son. You know, that's why I didn't go Saka, because they play Villa this week and I didn't think it was the greatest fixture. But yeah, by the way, 176 of you in here. If you could hit the like button, be much appreciated. Thank you very much. Hola Gabriel, who would you start? I'd be starting Gabriel. Best defender to bring in for 5.5 or under, not Robinson. I would say Porro is the best 5.5. I transferred Solanke for Haaland. I don't know how you done that. I assume you done that in 2 moves. Replacement for Barco. I wouldn't be replacing Barco. He's not going to get a price drop. Everton have to be the worst team in the league. I'd be captain anyone against them. I don't know, man. They did lose 3-0 to Brighton. And again, they did get a red card, so I don't know what to make of it. Troy Rogers says, how long to keep Bruno for? Yeah, so if we look at Bruno's fixtures, I could be holding on to him for a while, to be honest. Like, the time I'd want to get rid of him is maybe... There is no point in these 13 fixtures where you'd want to get rid of him, I don't think, anyway. I feel like these are all solid. But again, we will be using Wildcard maybe game week 6, so maybe that Spurs at home fixture is the fixture to get rid of him. And the reason being I think I might get rid of Bruno in Wildcard is because I do like the option of maybe a Rashford for 7 million. Save that 1.5 and maybe go up to a Haaland. It's quite interesting though, because I don't know what Wildcard window I'm on. I think earliest I would wildcard is 6, this right here, but the latest I would wildcard is 18. Like in the ideal world, you want to wildcard as late as possible. I think generally that's always the best play to do, because if you think about it, you can always see what other people are doing around you. Now, I don't really look into that, but what I mean is people will always have a better team than you when people start wildcarding. All right, so let's say wildcard 6, everyone is wildcarding, like 50% of the engaged managers. And if you don't wildcard, obviously you're going to be behind in 6, 7, 8. But if you can maybe nail the 3 Arsenal players with free transfers, and then they'll be playing catch up when you eventually wildcard later in the season, like 15, 16, 17. And it's something I done last season because how well I was set up early on. So, like, they might be struggling, and if injuries do come in, that later wildcard can definitely be so beneficial and set you up better for the future. And I think particularly when we go into the second half of the season and we don't know what it's going to look like in terms of fixtures, double game weeks, single game weeks, and even injuries, holding that wildcard as late as possible could be very, very good. And of course, you do get a second one game week 18 onwards. But then again, you won't use that wildcard until you need to, and you'll be well set up for the second half. So I plan on using it as late as possible. I don't really understand why you'd wildcard in 6 if your team is already set up and you can use free transfers to go towards some of the Arsenal assets. And if we pull up my team and we go, let's just say in theory, in an ideal world, somehow we make it through all these fixtures without using any transfers. Let me reset this. So we get to game week 5, and this is how we look. It's really good. We have game week 6, and we have a free transfer. So this is the week where Arsenal have those 3 beautiful fixtures. You without a doubt need a Saka and maybe a Havertz or double Arsenal defense. So you just go Son to Saka. I was always adamant on bringing in Saka. Anyway, he's probably the 3rd best asset in the game. You bring in a Saliba, or Gabriel. Saliba is probably more nailed, and I know they're both nailed, but I would still tend to lean on a Saliba. And then you can go to a Havertz. The only thing, like, issue I have with that, sorry, is I think we're likely to see Havertz eventually drop into midfield and stop playing the striker role. And I know they have a lot of links to Gyökeres for Sporting, and he is absolutely on fire, by the way. Every time I look on my feed every week, it's just him bagging goals. I think their season is 3 or 4 game weeks ahead of us, so yeah, that guy is absolutely lethal. And if they sign him, they could be well on for the league. And it hurts me to say that as a Spurs fan. But yeah, Arsenal could look deadly if they sign Gyökeres. But I think Jesus, when he's fit, I really am a firm believer. I'm not an Arsenal fan or anything, but I think he is part of their first team when he's fit. He just likes to play so well, and I know that's not what you want for a striker, but I think it's how Arsenal play. They're so good at controlling games, and he can be a very crucial part for that. Barco is indeed loaned out. Yeah, this is correct. Hope you're well, Shy. Yeah, no, Peter, it's good to see you. I'm all good, man. Delighted for the fixtures today. Not particularly the City one, but in general, happy football's back. Tosin Armstrong, not a bad option. I thought Southampton were a small bit better than I probably expect them to be. I know they played against 10 men, but still. Yeah, Barco is gone to Sevilla on loan. I did say that. Are people thinking that I didn't? But yeah, his price will be locked, so he's not going to go down in price. Is Rico Lewis worth it? Yeah, so this is one of those that I was actually debating with myself as well. Because before I had to think about it when Porro was potentially injured. But I think Rico Lewis is definitely a good 1 week punt. And if I had a free hit team, I would be having Rico Lewis in my team. Yeah, Anyway, let's go back to that kind of setup going forward. So you bring in Saliba and Saka. Now, I know I'm not going to have free transfers come this time because, that's just not how it works out. But you can bring in maybe a Jesus if he's starting. But again, let's just say in theory, Kai Havertz is still starting up top for Arsenal at this point. And I do think we will see quite a bit of rotation in these 3 fixtures in particular. Leicester, Southampton, Bournemouth. I think you'll see a lot of Trossard, and he's always really good off the bench. So I wonder, does he become an option? But who else do you like in Wildcard 6? I suppose the only thing you do really miss out on if you don't Wildcard 6 is if you have no Haaland and you want to bring him in. It's very tough. Like, you can't get rid of a Salah versus Wolves away. But yeah, like, this isn't too far off, in my opinion, a wildcard team. Like, it is a bit thin in certain areas, but we don't know what Jota is going to look like at that point. Nkunku might be a minute's risk at that point. By the way, on Nkunku, I'm quite high on Nkunku. I think that 58 minutes was good for him, that he played midweek. So I'm not too worried. Mbeumo, yeah, so Mbeumo has really, really good fixtures, game week 6 onwards. Yeah, and get Mbeumo in game week 6. Yeah, who would I get rid of? I get rid of Bruno, and that opens the funds for Havertz. But like, I feel like you have enough transfers, from now until game week 6 to move your team in a way where it's well positioned for the future, and you wildcard as late as possible. Like, I don't know if you want 3 Arsenal assets going into Liverpool. I don't know if it's home or away, and then Newcastle and Chelsea. Now, I know it's Arsenal and they are fixture proof, but still, like, you don't want double Arsenal defence going into that. Alright, let's update the feed. What you're saying is Son could have a double game week of Everton, and it would still be the same goal as Haaland for this game. Yeah, when you put it into perspective. Prass, by the way, what a guy. His play on words is always great. Yeah, that is kind of scary. Son, if he doubles Son's expected goals, he's still less than Haaland, or equals Haaland. That's insane. That just tells you how good Haaland of an option is this week. These are provided that Haaland gets 90 minutes. I'm not saying he won't get 90 minutes, but I just mean in general. I think we seen last season, City were 4-0 up against a lower side, newly promoted team, and he came off after 60 minutes. I remember everyone going absolutely ballistic, and a lot of people triple captain him. Man, it's not looking good. Again, though, it will be more so about the lesser owned players like a Chris Wood. Let's see. Oh, look at that. That's a legendary picture. Neymar, my favourite player growing up, man. You just had to be there. And I know there's loads of people that were there that are well older than me. But you know what I mean. Now he's a bit washed. Doesn't look like any updates yet, but we'll keep an eye out because we're definitely going to get something before the deadline. Choi, Ake start over Guardiola. Is this real? Choi, no Haaland, be brave. Where are you seeing this Ake start over Guardiola? I hope you're right as a non-Guardiola owner, but I think the timeline would be freaking out by now. Let's have a look. Unless someone said it in the stream that I'm not picking up, I don't think so. Again, we have plenty of time until the deadline. I'll be sure to update you all. Let's have a look at the price rises and let me know what you think of him. You know, I don't think it's a surprise to see Muniz there. Bernardo Silva, Xerxes, probably a bit of a surprise. Wood and Vardy, okay, fair enough. These are probably triggered by the Solanke injury. And then, of course, the price risers. Anyone here that you probably have? Maybe a Miguel. Other than Miguel, Yaro, maybe the odd person. Man, that Haaland expected goals is kind of playing in my mind now. It's not going to be a fun watch. Apparently that's the only game on telly as well. Spurs are not even on telly, so I'm going to have to find something to watch that on. And block out the noise. Mute Twitter for an hour and a half. Let me bring up this chat. When is Solanke dropping? Probably tonight, I want to say. A lot of people did transfer him. Is Walker out? I don't know if Walker is out, but I know Lewis has a good chance of starting. Would you go Mateta for Solanke or just wait for next game week to get Watkins? If you have an easy route to get to Watkins, I would say wait until next week. Saka and Foden, were it to take advantage of the fixtures? I would say in general, yes, if you've nothing else to do. But just be wary because Foden will probably be one of the first players to be subbed in that fixture. I want to say now. I know he hasn't played much games, but Ipswich at home, I do think he'll probably be one to be subbed off. Start Kwanzaa or Konsa? I'd be starting Konsa. Nice Byron kit. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Who would you bench out of Emile Smith-Rowe, Udogie and Robinson? That is a tough one. I'd probably bench Udogie. But I do expect Tottenham to keep clean sheet. But that Robinson fixture could see very, very good attacking threat. Many people triple captain Haaland. Yeah, it's not looking good. Any news with Palmer? You know what? I've not heard that. I think Maresca said it's not serious. He said he'd done the scan the next day and they're not too worried about it. Now, I don't know if that was a smoke screen. And if I had Palmer, I think I'd just be holding on. How many points would you consider success for your triple captain? 12 to 14. Is this timer right? Let me change this timer again. 52 minutes until the deadline. Okay, sweet. Bringing Wissa or João Pedro this week? I'd be bringing in Wissa. I don't think he's a great fixture next week, or this week, sorry. But I think long term you want someone that's going to play, and Wissa's pretty good. And it looks like Tony's going to be leaving, so Wissa might become the main man with Mbeumo. What team do you think has a better chance of a clean sheet, Newcastle or Forest? Let's see if we can pick up some clean sheet odds. What's his name? Rob T, maybe? Let's see if he has any clean sheet odds. Yeah, percentage of a clean sheet. So Newcastle 22%, and Forest 22%. Yeah, both away fixtures, one against promoted side. I think Forest I would lean on. Again, Bournemouth are probably better than we were probably making them out to be. Whereas I'd go for the newly promoted team. For sure. Bench Pedro or Gordon? I'll be benching Pedro. Um, all hail the Chai Monster, Waterford's finest. Nice one. Mazraoui and Nkunku. I don't know what that question is, but yes. Jota to Mbeumo from game week 6, as Jota might lose his place to Nunes. I don't know if he's going to lose his place, but yeah, I think we might see a bit more rotation than earlier subs. Gabriel versus Guardiola. Guardiola this week, all day. Captain Foden, Mateta or Isaac? You have to go Foden. Haaland and Onana for Salah and Solanke. Who is Onana? I assume you mean Amadou. That's not my name, mate. I would tend to lean towards Haaland, but of course, you know, Onana is not going to do that every week. He had a hole last week, but it's not going to happen again. Well, I'd be very surprised unless he starts having a Swicheck type season. Son captain, guys, he'll probably play false 9 against this weak Everton defence. I don't know, man. I can't see it really. I think playing a striker will open up room for Son on the wing, which is best. Ian says, any early team news? Not as of yet. We haven't heard anything, but we will get something, I think. Most likely off Tony saying about Guardiola or Rico Lewis, I would say. They might keep Haaland for later in the leaks, maybe 10 minutes before the deadline, I want to say. If you bank up 5 free transfers, then use 1. Will you have 4 free transfers next week? Interesting. Andy Martin, man, what a legend. If you don't follow Andy Martin on Twitter, go do it. He's a shithouse in the community, in my opinion. That's the best way to put him. Jota or Foden? This week, I'll be going... Look, Jota is better value. It's what that 2 million does elsewhere. But, like, on their own, maybe Foden. I'm not too worried about the Solanke price drop. So be it. It is what it is. I've kind of bit the bullet already by not going Muniz. I have, like, the price drop already if I don't do it before the drop. Is Haaland injured or is it fake news? It's definitely fake news. That was Slow Sports News that reported that. And it would be all over my feed if it was true. Yeah, so realistically, as a non-Haaland owner, it's more important to me that Muniz and Smith-Rowe blank rather than Haaland do well. I think every single Haaland team you see will have Muniz and a Smith-Rowe, or one or the other. Foden or KDB? I would go... Look, I was speaking to Tony just because I wanted some insight. Tony on Twitter, by the way, he's the guy that does the leaks. And so Rodri is reported not to play this week. Pep came out and said it, and he's not fit, or that he's just not going to feature at all. But Tony was suggesting that KDB will play a bit deeper due to that. Maybe in the 6 or 8 position. So I think Foden will play more advanced. But in general, like we seen last week, De Bruyne got into some good areas. He had a few shots as well. So he's also a good option. Any confirmation on Foden starting? No, not confirmation, but I do think he will start. Should I drop Solanke for Xerxes? The price drop will be brutal, and I'm on 0 in the bank. I don't like Xerxes as a move personally. You know, he probably will start, and he will be on high hopes after last week. But I don't know. I don't think I could go to a Xerxes. Haaland has never scored in Game Week 2 since joining the Prem. Hopefully it stays like this today. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting statistic, but, you know, when you look at it for what it is, there's absolutely 0 things that are reasoning why that is the case. It's just coincidence, you know. It's not like Haaland, every Game Week 2 he plays bad. It's just, you know, he's only been in the league maybe 3 seasons, so I won't look into that too much. Should I captain Son? Is Doku a good 1 week punt? As a 1 week punt, yes, he is good. Going forward, I'm not sure. We can see if Foden even play out there. Should I captain Son? I can't give the answer to that, but he's definitely a good option this week. Even on the underlying data from models, he's quite good. FPL Doctor, good morning. Troy, I really want to triple captain Haaland. Well, then do it. This is probably the best single game week opportunity you're going to get to do it. You enjoy that single game week while I triple captain and double though, yeah? No, I'm joking. It's definitely a good week to do it. Alright, let's have a look at 11FI. For anyone that's into data, if you don't follow 11FI, you know, I don't know what you're doing, but these are definitely really, really good graphics. And they have a very, very strong model. And I listened to some of their podcasts, so be sure to check them out. But yeah, it's interesting to see this. Some of the projected percentages of a win. Like, again, the highest on this list, City versus Ipswich. Okay. The second highest on this list, Liverpool, 70%, who you're probably going to captain Salah. And then third is Spurs versus Everton. So, like, you know, a lot of things point towards Spurs netting a few versus Everton. And it is at home. That's why I'm quite high on it. Tony Fungus says, I'm considering taking a -4 to get Mateta before a slanky price drop. I don't know, man. It's not bad, but if I had someone that could play this week, I don't think I'd do it. And just, I don't know, probably make a move elsewhere. Good morning, says Luke C. Good morning, how are you, man? Anish says, if Kwanzaa plays today, should I still sell him next week or wait for a price rise? So Anish, I don't think you're going to see a price rise for Kwanzaa anytime soon. Unless a Konate injury happened. I don't think so, because midweek we saw him pick up a knock in training, so he hasn't even trained. So I don't think he's going to play. Thanks, it was Silva or Doku, and I went with Doku. Son is a captain for a big differential. I'm tempted. Yeah, me too, man. I'm really tempted. Shout out George, our moderator, by the way. He says, leave a like if you're enjoying the stream. Thank you to the 230 that are in here. Again, this is a massive game week. I was very happy with my game week 1 score, by the way. Let me pull that up. We scored 71 points, 1.2 million in the world. You know, for me, as starts go, it doesn't get much better than that. What else could I ask for other than maybe Fernandez to haul? And if that would have happened, like the points difference between the top 1 million is probably about 4 points. So again, we're still fairly close to the pack at the top. The highest amount of points was 127, but let's be realistic. A team like this is not going to work for large parts of the season. So unless they wildcard, I'm not too worried. And again, we're not chasing first. It's just a progressive green arrows as the season goes on. So yeah. By the way, if you're anywhere near the bottom half, like 7 million, 6 million, again, not to worry. I'm sure you've seen my tweet on Twitter about you can start slow and still be flying in about 4 weeks. So I wouldn't worry about it at all. Bench Nkunku or Robinson? I want to say start Nkunku. I do think he'll do well. Will Anderson start today for Fulham? I don't think so. Ahmed to Eze for a hit? No. I go for Son as captain. It's all about having fun. Look, maybe on the outside it's about having fun, but on the inside, give me those points, man. I'm going to go triple captain on Haaland. Best of luck, man. Patrick Flores says 68,000 with 88 points. That is massive. C1 Sky Sports, FPL family. It is match day. Yeah, unfortunately we get to see Spurs today again. It's going to be a rough one today, lads. Let's see if we can catch any news. I don't think so, though. Goikarez, I swear this brother scores a brace and a hat-trick every week. Yeah, this is exactly my point. He is absolutely ridiculous. And I know he's in the Portuguese league, but still, man, to do it consistently is definitely a decent striker. I just had deja vu, by the way. This is crazy. I feel like I've speaking of Goikarez being phenomenal before. Do you think Garnacho will start? I don't see why not. I think the only reason he didn't start last time was a slow preseason. He didn't play much. What's the league code? Let me pull up the league code real quick. How do I even do that? Invite people to league. Here's the league code EH47SR. Be sure to join it if you haven't already. There will be a prize for the top 3. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but look out for that. Gyökeres was balling in the Championship too. Yeah, but he wasn't balling for Burnley when they were in the Prem. Troy, have you tucked yourself out of any City cover at 6.5 or 9.5? Yeah, I think I have. I was looking at a -4, but I just think it's probably better off to roll. We don't know what next week is going to look like. You pronounce my name perfect and GW2. No problem, Patrick. Which is what we do. Liam Campbell says, "Hey Chai, would you start Gabriel or Lewis Hall?" I would be inclined to start Gabriel. You know, that Villa game is a tough fixture, but I think Newcastle will concede. Bench Rowe or João Pedro? Again, it's a tough one, but I think this is the week where you have Smith Rowe. So this is the money fixture for him. I would start Smith Rowe. Wood or Garnacho? Garnacho, I want to say. Rashford or Welbeck? You know, we're not going to see that every week from Welbeck. I don't even know if he's going to start. I'd be starting Rashford. Me personally, anyway. Let's do another poll. By the way, last week we spoke about Kwanzaa. I think we had a few questions about what I thought about Kwanzaa. And I don't know if many of you there were there. But I said that he was likely going to be a rotation risk, and going forward, I didn't understand that as a move. So if you didn't go there on my word, fair play. I wouldn't have believed me either, if I'm being honest. But yeah, it's good to see that we were right about something. What poll could we do? What is the goal for this season? Like, okay, so how do you project like a good season? What would be a good finish for you? So I'm gonna put slash your goal. Son or Palmer captain? I'd go Son, personally. I don't know how you have both of them though. That implies you have no Salah and no Haaland. I'm gonna say top 5k. No, that's a good finish, but top 10k. Okay, top 10k, top 50k, and maybe top 100k. You know, I think the general consensus is maybe a top 10k is ideal. But let's say, alright, if the season ended tomorrow, like, would you be dissatisfied with anything other than a top 10k? Me personally, I'll give my opinion after the votes are in. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting talking point. Hall or Rodgers? Top 100 in my country. Yeah, it's interesting people play for different things. Like, for me, I'm all over the overall. I know a lot of people play for their mini leagues and their country. For example, my dad has started playing FPL. Now, he only started last week, so cut him some slack. But he is Malaysian, so he's like, I don't care where I finish in the world, I just want to do well in Malaysia. And I thought that was quite funny. By the way, he was ringing me last night, and I thought it was quite a humbling experience. But he's like, you know, what do you think of my team? I'm worried about having Eze. And I was just like, oh, this is the best thing ever. This is interesting. Imposter says, FPL Shy, what are your credentials and why should we listen to you? I would say in general you shouldn't listen to me. You know, I'm not here telling anyone that, you know, my word is better than anyone else's, or any of that. I always back my opinion though. These are always going to be my opinions, some of my thoughts, and you know, the odd thing will have a bit of bias, but again, that's what makes football so enjoyable. We all have different opinions, so I can't say any one person is right. Why should you listen to me though? I suppose I'm very clued in terms of the general community. I do watch nearly every single game I can. You know, I really enjoy football in general, and I've been watching for years. I'm a big Spurs supporter, take that as you will. And in terms of FPL, I've played for 7 years, and I'm only a young'un still, so I'm an experienced manager in terms of that, and I do have 2 or 3 quite good finishes. Last year we finished 1839 in the world, and in the 2021 we finished 4,329, and last year we were in the top 100 for about 30 game weeks. I don't know how I can sell myself any more than that, but if you're wondering why about the rest of my finishes, it was because I was young. I was 13 or 14 playing FPL, and you know, you're not going to reach that consistency doing transfers every week when you don't even own a phone. So make of those ranks that were a bit earlier as you will, but if you look at the activity, I wasn't active at all. But yeah, that's me selling myself. Again, I would generally advise, don't listen to me. Take what I have to say and put your own spin on what you think. Did you see FPL Fran triple captain Haaland? Yeah, I did see that. Fran, amazing manager, by the way. And I think it's for more than just one reason. You know, he's quite close with the analytics side of FPL. If you're a fan of analytics or you're a fan of FPL in general, Fran is a must follow. And he makes some great content. But I would say Fran is great because of the analytics view. And I think he would have seen that Rob T post and 11 of 5 won. And seen that the projections for Haaland is so high that, you know, this is one of the best opportunities you're going to get to captain a single game with player. So that's probably why. What is that poll on, by the way? 42% saying happy with the top 10k. 50, man, that's quite interesting. It's quite close. For me, I suppose the goal is a top 10k. Top 10k is fairly unrealistic, you know. To do that on a seasonally basis, that's what separates some of the elite managers like a Ben Crellin or a Fabio Borjas. But yeah, it is quite cool to see. Like for me, because of last year, that's why I set the bar so high. And of course we make content, so maybe there's a small bit of pressure for me to do a bit better. But again, I back some of my opinions, so I'm not too worried. Very impressive. How old are you? I'm 21. Yeah, so for a 21-year-old to have 7 years of FPL under his belt, you know, it's quite good. Can't say they were consistent years, but nonetheless, I understand the game, if that makes sense. FPL Chai, my 5 defenders are Mikalenko, Robinson, Anderson, Kwanzaa, and Konsa. You recommend me to replace Anderson to Rico Lewis? No, I wouldn't. Robinson, Anderson, Konsa, and Kwanzaa. Okay, maybe I would. Yeah, I would do. Oh, you're after missing the price rise for Kwanzaa. So yeah, I would do Anderson to Rico Lewis. Actually, I wouldn't, because you know you might get this week's fixture, which is very good, but you won't get next week's. Tony Fungus says you are making your FPL team with pen and paper. Yeah, like when you're a kid, I mean, you know, you're not going to be on your phone because you don't have one. But yeah, it's quite cool. Because Choi brings out the fun part to FPL and always insists on choosing your favorite players and have fun. Yeah, I suppose. You know, it's always important not to be too bogged down about how FPL goes. I know I can sometimes, but you know, it's not that serious in the grand scheme of things. Of course, I know people are playing for money, but lads, if you think about it, if you have a few bad weeks, there's still 36, 35, 34 game weeks to make up for after a few weeks, so no stress at all. FPL Choi, 7 years, crazy. You work a job beside this or in uni? Yeah, so I'm in university. I'm currently in my 3rd year, so I was in work placement. I currently work for Intel, but that finishes up next month. And then we'll be going back to university for another year, and then we are finished. But yeah, love from Egypt, Choi. Do I start Gabriel or Hall? I'd be starting Gabriel just for the goal threat. How come you're keeping Solanke? Just because if I'm going to take him out, it would be for a -4, and I'd prefer to leave it for next week. Let's bring back up my team. Alright, let's run through some of the, you know, if I'm looking at this, how many points I'm hoping for. Henderson at home to West Ham. 3 points. If he gets a clean sheet, I'd be very surprised, to be honest. I don't think West Ham will be any worse than last week. Pedro Porro home to Everton. I want to say 7. A clean sheet and 1 bonus would be lovely. I think to say that he's going to score another goal is probably a bit unrealistic. Trent at home to Brentford. An assist, maybe 6 points. Will they keep a clean sheet? It's hard to say. I'm going to say 6. You know, it's in between no clean sheet and maybe an assist. Robinson, you know, Robinson is one I'm very high on this week. I want to say 6 points, whether that's if he loses the clean sheet or gets an assist. But I'm going to go 6, 6, 7. Not another 6. 3. Bruno, you know, I'd be happy with an assist. Maybe 5 or 6. 5 or 6 and a yellow card. Bruno getting a yellow card is just... I see it all the time, man. That's the only thing about owning Bruno. It's bad for the bonus. Diogo Jota, you know, hopefully a goal, 7. Salah captain, hopefully a goal minimum, 14. Nkunku, hopefully an assist. Like, I know I'm looking at my team and I'm like, oh, they're all going to return, but you know, this is why I have these players. So for me to say they aren't going to return is why do I own them in the first place? So Nkunku, hopefully a goal. I think we're likely to see it if he plays a bit more central. For me, Wolves aren't great at all. By the way, I missed some of your questions. Let me get back to some of them. What are the chances of Rico Lewis to start? I would say about 75%. What do I think? Alright, so, damn, Intel in Leak Slip. No, so it's actually in Shannon. So I travel up from Waterford to go to Shannon. Alright, yeah. But Leak Slip is a deadly place. I was there once. Troy, what do you think the mystery chip is going to be? Yeah, the mystery chip is a hard one to judge. I think it's going to be something that is not too overpowered. But it makes me think, like, why are they disguising it as a mystery chip if it's not going to be something new and innovative? But if you're asking me, it's probably going to be a limitless chip like we've seen in the Euros. So that's a chip that can be played in any week. And obviously it's probably better to play it in a double. But, sorry. I don't think it can be anything too game-breaking. I think the community would be very unhappy with that. What would I like it to be? I would like to see something fun, but not something too stupid or gimmicky. That top is lit, says Loyal. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, so this poll has nearly 200 votes. If you haven't already voted, feel free to do it. Top 10k is 45%. Me personally, the goal is always top 10k. I think an amazing elite finish is top 5k. That is always like in the clouds. But a realistic high finish is top 10k. I feel like you'll see a lot of the engaged managers get somewhere near in between the 10 to 50k, and you can be an engaged manager but be quite unlucky and be inside the top 100k. But I would say the baseline for a decent finish is 100k, but I would be happy with a top 10k, of course. Take a hit from Murphy to Eze. I don't know, man, it's a hard one. I can't really say. I'm in the exact same position as you. 3-4 is currently Pedro and Isaac like you, but I'm really tempted in Mateta for Solanke now. What do you think? Is Mateta a better option this week? Yeah, no doubt Mateta is not a bad option this week. Who did Crystal Palace play again? West Ham. Yeah, these 3, 4, 5 fixtures are lovely. But if you have Eze, I wouldn't double up. I think he's definitely a good option though. And it's definitely something I could do as well. I kind of wanted to just roll the transfer. I could see João Pedro, you know, doing well if he plays more than 70 minutes versus United. I can't see United getting another clean sheet. They weren't too good either. And again, and the inverse, I could see Bruno doing quite well as well. So yeah, this is my team. Let me get back to some of your questions. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. Choi, what about Solanke to Muniz? Yeah, so it was one I was looking at last week, and it frees up some funds as well. But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of hype about Muniz, and a lot of the data from last year is a bit skewed because how little games he played. He was averaging something like 4 shots a game, which is ridiculous. Like, is it realistic that we see that again this season? I don't know. But he definitely has the fixtures, so not a bad move at all for that price, 6 million. Do I think Kulusevski would start? I would say yes, primarily because he was hard done by last week. You know, I think a lot of Spurs fans would have expected Kulusevski to start last week. I would have thought our best team is with Johnson. Now, we do have Odegaard, who is ready and firing to go. He looked quite sharp in training. I watch all the training clips for Spurs just to get a glimpse of what a player is about. And he is going to play off the right if he is going to play. Yeah, but I would say it's likely going to be Kulusevski on the right. I don't think we'll see Odegaard start just yet. I would love it. I'd be all for it, just because how not poorly Johnson played, but underwhelming, I would say. You know, his touch, he didn't look very sharp at all. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about when I was speaking about Son Captain. You know, so many crucial players. I forgot about Brantwaite. And it's at our stadium. This could be a slugfest. And if you're a Spurs fan, you know, you're expecting nothing less than 3 points, regardless of these injuries. And looking at these injuries, you're expecting us to batter them. The home crowd would be really behind Spurs. The first game of the season, I was at it last year. I was at United at home. It was second game of the season for us and our first home fixture, and the atmosphere was something else, lads. Genuinely. If you haven't already, I would advise any away fans to try go to our stadium. Absolutely amazing. It's like a spectacle on its own. Johnson was awful. Do you think Son will play the number 9 role? No, I think it's unlikely. Ange has said that Son's best position, and it's my opinion as well, that his best position is left wing. FPL Discomfort is in here. Let me find him. What is he saying? He's always chatting waffle. Love that shirt on you, Chai. Been all those white ones. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, no, it's a deadly shirt. Thank you, Kieran. Appreciate it. Another man that I met at Fantasy Football Fest. Dead on, Kieran. It was deadly to meet you, man. But I just wish you weren't an Arsenal fan. We might get along a bit better. Start 2, Murphy of Newcastle, Hull. I assume you mean Hull or Hall, and Harwood Bellis of Southampton. I would start Murphy, and I would start Hall. Should I sell Saka for Son, KDB, or Foden? If I had Saka, I'd probably take the points and run from last week. You'd be very happy with those points last week, and I feel like you have a bit more room to take a bit of a punt. Start of the season, why not take a bit of a risk? Haaland Spurs, yeah, I think we could see some points for our Son today. I think he'll definitely score. You get a feeling in that lower area of your body where, sometimes it's just you go with your gut, and that's what I often quite do. But I just feel like Salah versus Brentford is equally as good as Son versus that weakened Everton team. You too, mate. It was a great laugh. Good luck this game week. Yeah, best of luck, Kieran. Nkunku is definitely more nailed on. Played in Enzo's preseason. Your game, Pedro will be eased in. Yeah, I'd definitely be going Nkunku. Any early team news, Chai? No, not as of yet, but I think we will definitely get something. I can tell Tony has a few tweets waiting in his drafts. He probably has the team already. Some people locked in already. By the way, nearly 300 people in here. If you could hit the like button, be much appreciated. Going forward, it really helps us, and it's great to see so many bodies in here. Yeah, I think a lot of people will be taking a hit this week, so going into next week with 2 free transfers would be very nice. A moment to forget for Waterford keeper. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm from Waterford, and I didn't see this, so it's interesting to see FPL Twitter tweeting about it. Oh man, that is terrible. Anyway, let's get back. I want to know, alright, if I were to guess, I don't know if everyone in here knows what effective ownership is, but alright, so Foden, Lewis, Guardiola starts, Garnacho and Bruno, people are putting in, and it says Noah Peters. I don't know where you're getting this. If you could at me, it'd be much appreciated. Again, we're always going to be refreshing. We'll get something. I'm delighted Pedro Porro is back for this game. He's massive and crucial to how we play. He's so advanced as well, so it will keep Mikalenko on his heels. Maybe that's false news. I haven't seen anything yet. What's the full roster so I can copy from last week? The full roster. That's an interesting way to put it. Here's the full roster. Again, I don't advise copying me because what do I know? Like, this could be a poor season. No, I always back myself. This is going to be a good season. But in general, what I would say is, like, why are you playing FPL if you're not going to do it on your own? You know what I mean? It's part of fun, me picking my own team and not listening to other people. And I can be quite stubborn on that. But, that's how I enjoy the game. So that's how I'm going to play it. But yeah, there is my team. I'll keep it up for you for another minute or so you can have a look. 301 votes in what is a good finish, and 46% of the people saying top 10k. Yeah, I would agree. I would say if it's your first year playing, top 100k is a goal. If it's your 4th or 5th year playing, you want to be aiming for that top 50k for sure. Adam Sousa, good to see you back. Start Nkunku or Pedro? I want to say that is really a flip of a coin. I've had that question a few times now, and I'm still quite unsure. I would say Nkunku. I don't know why, but I think he will score. Play Consa or Harwood Bellis? I would play Harwood Bellis. No City player this week? Unfortunately not. We're actually praying. Morning Choi says, Robert, how are we? Need a top 10k to win my mini league. You never know. You might have a top 5k finish in that mini league. So, Robinson or Hall? Robinson, 100%. Nkunku or Wood? Nkunku. Yeah, okay. Team is looking good. I think we're fairly locked. I'm not going to lie. I can't see myself changing the captaincy to Son. But for anyone that does, I think it's definitely a good option. Play Minoza and Robinson. Let's keep refreshing the feed. China Square FPL, Leaked FPL. I don't know how legit this is. In terms of fantasy football, we haven't seen too much. You know, I wouldn't really believe this. And also, I think I would get some potential team news on Spurs. So, I don't know if I would weigh anything on that. Thank you for adding me, though. Be interesting to see if it's right. So, you know, going forward. Harrison James says, low-key think Southampton Forest is going to have some of the big points this week. Yeah, it could be. I think Southampton we seen last week, you know, they might really attack the game. It'd be interesting. Choi, your thoughts on Foden? Yeah, I think he'll start, but I think he'll get subbed off maybe 75 minutes. Why is Solanke not out for this game week? So I look at it and I go, who could I bring in? I could bring in Muniz for Fulham, and he'd play Leicester at home, which is a great fixture, don't get me wrong. But then I'm benching João Pedro at home to United, and I do think there is an opportunity to grab some points from João Pedro. Who's going to play at the 9? It will be Richarlison if he's fit. If he doesn't play, it's the only reason is that he's not fit. Do you know why my kits aren't coming up, says Luke? So if you're on Android, your kits might come up. So go on the browser version. It's a bit easier to see. Nkunku to Kulusevski is a 1 week punt. Nah, no chance. I wouldn't risk it. Miklenko or Kwanzaa out for Robinson? I'd be taking out Kwanzaa, 100%. Like and sub, people. Appreciate your chat. Appreciate it. Let's see. Let me refresh this chat. How far are you ahead do you plan, Shy? So, Andrew, I usually do a block of 1 to 5 fixtures. And try not to have a week where I'm going to be kind of worried about the whole week as a collective. Like, for example, game week 3 is going to be tough because I have 2 Liverpool players playing United. I have Bruno versus Liverpool as well. But in general, I think a good rule of thumb is 1 to 5 weeks. You know, for example, when I was making my first team for last week, I would have looked at from here because game week 6 is a good opportunity to transfer in some of the Arsenal assets or wildcard. And the same with the likes of Mbuemo. But yeah, the way my team is set up, it's really good for 1 to 5. And of course, there's no Haaland, so I do have the flexibility to kind of pick and choose fixtures that I want. So I have a way more flexibility in that sense. The reason I didn't go Haaland is because that meant I would have to go no Salah. And of course, we've seen what Salah can do. And also, it's a case of when I've had Haaland on a Salah team, when I was looking at the transfers I make on a weekly basis, there was none I could see. So that's a big reason why. H.I. Langer or Eze? Eze. Don't sleep on Haaland, boys. 2 goals from him today with the triple captain who beat 24 points. Do not underestimate that. Yeah, go for it. I mean, I'm not so high on the triple captain, but I can understand it. 100% I can understand it. Muniz or Salah captain? Salah all day, man. It's not even a debate. I'm trying to think, does anyone can you do a spin the wheel to see if I bring in Foden or KDB? Okay, no problem, let's do it. This is something that often features on our stream. Foden or KDB. I can't remember the user that asked for this, but let's do it. If anyone else wants one of these, let me know. Who is this for? This is for Noah Peters. Best of luck. KDB is the punty one, and I'm happy it landed on it. Best of luck. Yeah, FPL, a great way to choose some of your picks going forward. Maliki says, something tells me Choi will be drinking something stronger than water after Haaland's hat-trick today. Yeah, I think I'm going pub later as well, so we'll see. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be looking good. Spin the wheel for me on captain, Son or Salah. No problem. Son or Salah captain, let's go. By the way, if anyone's wondering, this is not how I pick my own team. But it's always good for the viewers if you want to interact with me. I try to be as vocal with the chat as possible. So if you have any questions, be sure to fire them in. I'll answer as many as possible. Let's have another scroll on Twitter before we get back to that though. Peter Bracken says, hi Choi, take a hit. Is it worth taking a hit this week for Salah / Solanke to Haaland Traore? Nah, not at all. I have to say though, Traore did look quite sharp last week. Does the lick start? I think this could be an opportunity for him to get into that team, yeah. I thought Maguire was very, very good last week though. The wheel don't miss. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, who is it that always asks for a wheel? He's a Palace fan. FPL Hasbullah. He's always asking for a wheel, and he usually puts it up on Twitter after I do it. I can't say it has the best success rate, but still quite cool. New for me on Twitter. By the way, be sure to tag me on Twitter. I'll be pulling it up if we get anything good in terms of leaks wise. Kyle Walker looks match ready. If I was a Rico Lewis fan, I'd be shitting it. I can't lie. Just me personally, anyway. We will definitely get something, lads. Don't worry. 100%. Where leaks, you know what I mean? Where is that meme I'm trying to find? Do something, maybe. There it is. FPL 420 for some of the best memes for FPL Twitter. There's all data on one side, and then there's the wheel. Yeah, 100%. Some people just like to put it up to chance. Hi, Choi, score predictions for Spurs versus Everton. Come on, you Spurs. I want to say 3-0 Spurs. Your world toast captain, Salah or Son? I would say Salah, because I'm doing it. So you keep in Solanke. The problem is that the fixtures after he returns are not good. Son good. Yeah, no, that is a really good point, and you know, I can understand that. But I think I'd rather just wait and not take the -4 this week. That's just my opinion anyway. Did you make any transfer? Hope Solanke plays the next match and smashes it. No, I haven't made any transfers, and I don't plan on doing it either. I'm fairly confident going into the game week with this team. Am I confident Haaland is not going to bag? No, but you know, I'm not in control of that. Zubin says, would you play Bailey versus Arsenal or Smith Rowe? Smith Rowe all day. You selling Solanke for Watkins next week? I'm unsure. What I was eyeing up, alright? I don't even know if I have the facilities to do it, but what I was planning was potentially Bruno out for a Bailey and a Solanke up to Watkins. I can't afford it, even if he drops. And then you have these two lovely fixtures. You replace the two boys. The only thing is, I'm unsure about getting rid of Fernandez when he has Southampton to play after that Liverpool fixture. But bringing in those two boys would definitely be nice. And then you have Everton at home next week as well, which is a lovely fixture. Game week 4, I have to say, we're looking very, very strong. And you have João Pedro versus Ipswich at home. Now, I don't know how minutes are going to look from that game. But if you look at that, like, I mean, that's ridiculous sort of team. And that Arsenal versus Spurs game is usually quite high scoring, so wouldn't be worried with those assets. And then going to next week, Wolves at home, who I consider maybe a bottom 5 team. So I think bringing in the 2 Villa assets is probably the best way to go. The only thing with that is going into game week 6, you have, how many free transfers is that? 3. So, you know, you can bring in a Saka for Son still, and you have the 0.4 in the million to do it. You can still bring in a Saliba. My issue is you can't bring in another attacker for Arsenal like a Havertz. But then again, you know, you have Nkunku on the bench anyway. Yeah, so this is just maybe some of my thought process when I'm making some of my moves, if anyone's interested. Everyone has their own type of way of doing stuff. But that's just how I tend to do it. Salah over Son again this week, yeah, for sure. Bench 1 of Wood, Nkunku, Smith Rowe. I'll be benching Wood. Wood is going to see reduced minutes this week with Taiwo Awoniyi back. Uh, 11-5, game week 2, rolling. Very strong team. Love the Minta shout, by the way. Minta in game week 4 looks like he could be that guy. Would you have Nkunku or Hall? Nkunku all day. Fresh trim and the Bayern t-shirt. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. George in chat says game week 6 earliest is when I'm going to wildcard. I can't see myself doing a game week 4 wildcard. It doesn't make sense to me. Everyone just slowly waiting for Tony. 9 minutes until the deadline. Again, for anyone that's new to the streams this year, welcome. Something we do every single week, and we're not going to miss. And along with a video or 2 every week as well. So, Shanali says, good morning, Choi. Would you consider starting Dunk over Gabriel? Got Ray in goal, already have a feeling. Dunk over Gabriel... not when they play United. I can't see a clean sheet. Got Ryan goal already, have a feeling. Yeah, I would be putting Gabriel for the goal threat. I love the tea. Thank you, Soham. AJ says, good morning. You reckon Foden will start? Yeah, I reckon so. I did see that Savio was back in training though, which was quite interesting. Let's see if any updates. Abdul Rahim is locked in. What you got from me? I don't know about Armstrong as a pick, man. Harwood Bellis as well. Rodgers on the bench versus Arsenal makes sense. One free transfer. You cheeky boy sending me in your team. Yeah, I'll be getting rid of Solanke for sure for Muniz, just because you can't be going feeling 10 players, you know what I mean? For anyone that's just joined the stream, this is my team. Again, no Haaland. We're curled up in the ball hoping he does nothing. Look, like I said, the expectation for this week will always be that a minimum brace for Haaland, and I'll be happy. It is mostly about... It's something that no one's really talking about, but the likes of a Wood... I know I keep saying it. A Wood and a Smith Rowe. They're the enablers that allow you to get Haaland. And then it's the likes of a Son or a Bruno or a Jota for me that will really make a difference. So I need them to do quite well. I think regardless of how well Haaland does, I think if Son and a Bruno do well, it won't matter. Like, it will kind of nullify itself out. New to this channel, loving the content. Thank you, Chris. Welcome to anyone that's new. Again, we will be doing one of these streams every single week, and we're only going to get better. I'm trying to improve the content as it goes. So if anyone has any advice or something I can improve on, be sure to let me know. I'll try to take in as much feedback as possible, and including the videos. So be sure to leave comments, and I take it on board. Alex Lemberidis, that's a very cool second name. Start Saliba or Robinson? For me, it has to be Robinson. Saliba, I think, has a very tough game this week. And Unai Emery seems to always do a job on Arsenal. I think he has a bit of fire in his heart since his Arsenal days. Choi Mate says Objective Matt. He says I might need a wheel. Got to start one of Wood in Kunku Hudson Odoi. Alright. Wood in Kunku Hudson Odoi. Let's do it. For me, I would probably play Nkunku, just the best out of the three with the best fixture, because Wood will likely be subbed off early. But again, Wood is definitely a good option versus Southampton. So congrats. Ho Zong Zeng says, are you planning on making any transfer? No, I don't plan on it. Objective Alex Lambridis, before I complimented his second name, has sent a super chat. I don't know what A is. I'm gonna say Australian dollars maybe. But thank you so much for the super chat. Star Saliba or Robinson? I would go Robinson for sure. Garnacho and Porro for Jota and Dunk. No. I would just hold with either side of what you have. Objective Matt says, cheers lad, no worries. 5 minutes until the deadline. Again, if we get any team news, be sure to at me. City leaks. Oh, that's good now, can't lie. It's the little things. Omar says, FPL Choi, thoughts on captain and Salah instead of Haaland. We'll have them both for a rank boost. Ooh, that would be quite interesting. Lime Mouse, if you're in here, there is a membership. Let me try and find that actually. I don't know if I can become a member. If you click on this button, you can become a member. There it is. It's the membership one here. Appreciate any super chats, by the way, that have come in already. Means a lot. And I'm just some guy here that is absolutely chatting waffle to all you with a decent FPL rank history. But yeah, I appreciate it, lads. Start Saliba or Hall? I'd be starting Saliba. Give me something, man. Come on. I don't think... I was almost positive we were going to get something off of Tony. Almost positive. Benjamin Minoz or Gabriel? I'd be benching Minoz. Eze? Is it Eze or... No, Emil Smith-Rowe or Nkunku? Smith-Rowe. Nearly 400 people in here. Be sure to hit that like button. Much appreciated, lads. Hey, bro. Quansah to Robinson done. Slanky for hit. Hardwood on the bench. I think if you don't have a 11th player, I would take a hit for Slanky. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother. Okay, I'm going to spend some time refreshing this. By the way, make sure your team is saved at the bottom. I know a lot of people get caught out by it, and refresh the page to make sure. Yeah, I'm on Salah captain, and I'm fairly locked. I think, you know, there's nothing really I can change from now. So happy going into the game with that. Fran is locked in, 4.4 million in the world. Triple captain has gone through for Fran. Quite interesting. You know, I'm more so interested about how his team is going to line up next week. For example, this is how I look at people's team and how I maybe get to understand them. But João Pedro and Dunk versus Arsenal next week. You've Bruno versus Liverpool. Trent versus United, of course. And Lewis mightn't play. And then that Saka fixture, I think, is very, very, very good. He's probably going to captain him. But yeah, strong team. You play Quansah next week, actually. Yeah, fair point. Triple captain Haaland, not for me, but I can understand why. FPL Focal locked in. 3 minutes until the deadline. Get your teams locked, lads. Going to stick with no triple captain. Fair point. I'm telling you, lads, we're going to get a 1 minute before the deadline Tony leak. I haven't seen a deadline where he hasn't tweeted something. Unless they've gone and locked down on the team leaks, I highly doubt it though. FPL Shy, bench João Pedro and Nkunku. I would be benching João Pedro. Let's see. 2 minutes until the deadline. Are we going to get anything? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, man, I really need Muniz to not do anything this week. It'd be great. For me, it's like Muniz versus João Pedro. You know, I'm not too worried about João Pedro, but Muniz could pop off versus Leicester, man. We've seen it last season how well he can do. George is putting chat. Everyone get your team locked in. Yeah, 2 minutes. And it doesn't look like we're going to get any news. And even if we do, it'll probably be too late to react to it. So I'm going to screenshot my team real quick. Get ready to put it on Twitter. For anyone that's new here, follow me on Twitter. Choi_FPL, and I usually post quite often. We're going to get it after the deadline now, watch. Transfer Kwanzaa / Barco. I assume you're not too worried about a Kwanzaa / Barco. Let me pull up my team for anyone that's just joining us. There's my team. I'm just scrolling on Twitter to see if we get any team news. Alright, deadline's just about up. It doesn't look like we're going to get anything. Locked in. I hope everyone's locked in, yeah? Great stream as usual. We're going to stay on for another 10 to 15 minutes, I want to say. Lime Mouse has become a cup of chai. Welcome, Lime Mouse. Great to have you. Great to see you're supporting the channel. If anyone wants to become a member, feel free to do it. I'm going to try add some perks. For example, I have a group chat with the likes of Lime Mouse and Anisha already. So yeah, really appreciate it. James says, well in. Good shit. Locked in. Okay, good. Alright, we are locked in also. There's my team. Let me quickly make a tweet. You know what? I'm actually quite happy we've not got any leaks. Just in case Haaland is benched and then people can't react. No, I'm joking. Game week 2, how are we looking? We are 1.2 million in the world. Where's that world emoji? What continent do I want to display? Let's go this one. And then Salah captain. I've always formatted my tweets like this. And then a king emoji. I don't know why. It's just I like, you know, visuals are very important. And then maybe something that I think no Haaland. Brace minimum and I'm happy. Brace maximum and I'm happy. Anything less than a brace? Best of luck. Let's see some teams below. For anyone in chat, be sure to stick your team down here. We'll have a look at them on stream. And an arrow. Down. Okay. Yeah, welcome to the family, Lime Mouse. Hope Liverpool player. When Solanke to Mandetta, yeah, definitely a bit of a punt. Good luck, Choi, says Artarva. Best of luck. Good luck. Leave a like for the great work, Choi. Thank you. George, good luck. Appreciate you being our mod. Much love. Thanks for the stream, bro. Always first choice of deadline, says Jack Fairness. Thank you so much, man. Means a lot. Definitely motivated for the season. Chess Quickness says, good luck. Yeah, best of luck, man. It's going to be a swingy old week, but, you know, that's the game. Solanke to Mateta, interesting. Would you get KDB or Foden for Son in the coming weeks? You know what, Hamza, I was thinking about it this week. I just didn't end up doing it because I didn't think a -4 was worth it, because we don't exactly know how people are going to set up. I think it's crucial that Muniz doesn't bag today, as everyone has gone from Solanke to Muniz. I think if Muniz blanks today, we've dodged a bullet. Oscar Sanders says 92 points last week, no Haaland, and now we pray. You know, if I had got 92 points last week though, I would really be feeling like it's insurance for this week. So I would be very happy, Oscar, if I was you. All the best, Chai. Love the streams. Come on, you Spurs. Yeah, hopefully we see a big result for Spurs today. Look, it doesn't have to be anything special. Just don't disappoint us. FPL has bullet. We were just talking about you earlier, man. George says, Hasbullah says, I've been amazing, bro. Been traveling and stuff. Not much time for FPL. How about you? Great to see you, man. I don't know if you were here when we were talking about you, but welcome. Sunny for me. Come on, love that. Love that, Anish. Best of luck. For the back, interesting. I don't know if I love that. Good luck, says Bunny. Best of luck, man. If you're in here. Very strong team, this. Chris Wood. Yeah, it's a team like this that I feel could kill me this week. Let's see, though. FPL Mackham. A usual member, triple Fulham. Yeah, Fulham will be the decider this week. It's not looking good. No Haaland, we'll be fine, bro. Yeah, I agree. I'm not too worried. I say that, but watch. Mehdi, very, very good team again. I love this one. How would Bellis though? I'm unsure of, but you have Saliba in that place. Great stream as always, Choice, says Ajay. Thanks for the advice. Good luck for the game week. Yeah, best luck, man. No Haaland, we'll be fine, bro. Yeah, I already read that. Okay. Let's have a look at some people on timeline tweets before we finish up. I'm always interested about what people are doing. Brandon, 4.3 million in the world, rolling a free transfer. I would have rolled too. I just want to see if we get some leaks after the deadline. Imagine the scenes if Haaland blanks. Yeah, so Con, this is where I think, you know, a lot of people haven't even considered. You know, if I was a Haaland owner, I'd kind of be more worried about Salah than I would in general for Haaland. Because if Haaland blanks this week, Salah gets something, you know, Haaland owners are really behind. So, let's see. FPL Choi, currently my first preference for deadline streams. I like that you don't follow the template. Appreciate the help you give us. No worries, man. Thanks for the kind words. You know, I try my best. You know, I'm not always going to be right, but I'll be sure to always own up for when I'm wrong. I think that's a big thing for me anyway. Like, you know, we won't sugarcoat things. If I'm wrong, I'll be the first to put my hands up about it. You know, for example, last week we got Kwanzaa right, and to right, I'm gonna I'm gonna be spreading that like you know, it's a hard thing to guess. But yeah, I wouldn't say, again, listen to everything I have to say. You know, it's only opinions at the end of the day. And FPL is a game of opinions, in my opinion. FPL is a game of opinions, in my opinion, yeah. Hoping for an early Robinson red card and a Lewis non-start. You know, that Lewis non-start would be a dream. And if I had Lewis, I think I'd be already worrying. But Lewis will start. I'd be surprised if he wasn't. Diogo Jota. Love this graphic. Beautiful. So, 12:30, we've got United versus Brighton. I'm looking forward to it. I think that'll be a nice game to watch. Gundo's back in the Prem. I wonder if Xerxes going to start. What time is it? 11 o'clock. We get team news at 30:30, but we're going to finish up in about 5 minutes. Still 170 people in here. Listen to me. Be sure to send in some questions if you have any. Well, the chat is not popping. Now's your chance. Look at this. I love this type of stuff. You know, this is great. He's on a plane and he's watching Let's Talk FPL. Like, it's where dreams are made of. You know, if you're a Let's Talk FPL, like, you know, I think no matter how big you are, that kind of stuff will always kind of motivate you. Maliki says, deactivate my account if Haaland blanks. Yeah, you know what? I would deactivate if I had Haaland and triple captain and he blanked. I think it's unlikely though, you know. We've not seen unexpected goals like this since last year when Haaland played Luton. Okay, before we finish up, I'm just about to end here, but any last questions? We are locked in. I've rolled and transfer. I'm happy with my team. Look, it's set in stone now. Whatever Haaland does, he goes and does. It is what it is. End up with Haaland triple cap. Best of luck, Shanali. Peter Bracken says, good luck, Joy. Thinking Solanke, Watkins and Kunku to Rodgers for next week instead of Bailey Fernandez. What percent Haaland to blank is 25%. Thinking of Solanke, Watkins and Kunku to Rodgers for next week instead of Bailey Fernandez. Yeah, they're good moves. I got in Gundogan, comeback goal. Imagine. Adam Souza has become a member just before we've ended up. I appreciate you, man. Adam, be sure to DM me your number and I can add you to the WhatsApp group with the members. But yeah, really appreciate it. Tweeted you my team, says Kirk. Sorry lads, I'm gonna end the stream. Hide behind the couch because Haaland is gonna smash it. FPL has Willis says best luck. Okay lads, that's me. I will see you for some videos during the week. Be sure to check me out on Sunday. I'll be doing a fantasy football scout video. I'm not sure who it's going to be with, but we will be doing one for sure. Just a little roundup of how the game week went. And then maybe you might see me on some burning questions next week. Don't quote me on it, but keep your eyes peeled. Last question, when will you captain Son over Salah if we get a bottom 3 team and Salah has a tough fixture? Okay lads, that's me. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you, and